Please, just talk. Do something. Make a contribution. Do something, god damn it. Fucking speak!
Love and leg drops, bitches.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops. We love to crop. We love to crop. Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Fuck you.
After Party Hangover.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover. I'm your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is the show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Today's guest, you see him regularly in the Facebook and Instagram questions. It's Matthewjh138. What is going on, my man?
Nothing much. Just watching some college football today. Basically,
Nice.
Saturday.
Well, can you explain to our audience your Instagram name?
It's kind of obvious. My name is Matthew. AH and 138 is a Misfit song. It's a big Misfits Glenn Danzig fan, so if you notice, sometimes I do a lot of Glenn Danzig questions just to kind of mess with them. So
Okay, so there's not 137 other Matthew JHs?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I want to let you know that I appreciate your presence in the question segments because in your Facebook questions, you always tell us what day we're celebrating. And in the Instagram questions, you have sports references that wake Zenka up when he's drifting off. So I just want you to know that we appreciate you, man.
Perfect, thank you. I tried a little bit different.
Also, I don't know if anyone else but me notices this, but I appreciate your great spelling and how your questions are always proper looking, professional looking. I do notice that.
Thank you. My first question I ever asked on there, I rushed it really fast and it didn't go over very well, so they misunderstood it. So now I was like, I have to articulate this.
Yeah, it varies week to week depending on how they're tired or if they're angry or if they're bickering with each other, but usually it turns out great.
Yes. I enjoy it a lot. So
Okay, well, let's start from the beginning. How did you start watching wrestling? Like, how long have you been a wrestling fan? Who introduced it to you?
Intermittently, I've been a wrestling fan almost my whole life, I gotta say. I remember I think when I was a little kid, I used to live in a small town, and I remember walking around the house in a Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful pajama suit.
Yes.
My father. So I remember that. That was like 1984, 1985-ish.
Wow. Yeah, that is old school.
They would give me like Survivor Series tapes and SummerSlam tapes and stuff because, those papers are so expensive. So
Yeah, back then.
So we used to trade tapes with like my cousins and like my one uncle, my godfather, used to give me some every once in a while, which was pretty cool.
How did you discover the Still Real After Party podcast?
That was about let's say about 2.5 years ago, I think it was.
Oh, in the Still Real radio days?
Yeah. I just started working nights, and I had nothing to do Sunday nights getting ready to like be up all night for Monday. So I just looked at the podcast app on my phone, and that was it. So that was pretty good. I used to use it while running. I used to listen to it, and like a lot of the back episodes, but then it went away.
Out of curiosity, did you use iTunes?
Yes.
iTunes, yes. Okay. You mentioned something to me on the Instagram chat that's pretty impressive and I think is a massive compliment to the guys. You told me that you stopped watching wrestling and because you're very busy, and now you get all your information from the guys at the Still Real After Party.
Yes. I actually told the Zenka run the Instagram account.
Yeah, the Still Real to Us. Yes.
that's a whole other thing that confused me. But he had put a thing like ask me anything. So I just started asking metal questions about like Rat, Twisted Sister and stuff. But someone asked a question about like other wrestling podcasts, and I suggested to him, maybe you should listen to the Still Real After Party, because that's the only news I get it from. I don't know if he knew I was joking or not, but I was being dead serious. That's how I watch it now. Like I said, I work nights. I never get a chance to watch it anymore. Maybe like YouTube clips or something here or there, but this is basically where I get the bulk of it.
I believe the goal of every wrestling podcast is to be good enough to where people depend on that podcast for their wrestling information. So they've reached that goal, at least with you, Matthew. So that's pretty awesome, man.
I'm lost. I'm completely lost. Like when Steel Real Radio went off the air, I didn't even know. I was not caught up at all. I made a mistake because there's another podcast that kind of has a similar name, and I thought that was the same thing, and they changed the format, but I was way off. So I'm glad I found it.
Okay, well, I know you're an old school wrestling fan, so throughout the decades of watching, do you have a favorite theme song?
See, I even listened to your previous shows, so I know the questions too. And I forgot. I would have to say the top two would be the Christian one.
Oh, yeah.
His later. I think that seems to be a popular one.
Yeah, that's Jake's favorite.
When Edge came out to Rob Zombie was always good.
Oh, yeah. I bought that album just for that song. His Rob Zombie albums are very hit and miss.
Yeah, they are. He's one of those ones that greatest hits is all you really need.
Pretty much. Do you have a favorite wrestler over the past history?
I will have to say my all-time favorite wrestler is Chris Jericho.
Oh, so that means you're an AEW fan, right?
I've never watched an episode of AEW, but I watched the highlights.
Okay, yeah, because you have to watch Dad Bod Jericho at least once.
Another thing, I always heard that Dad Bod. He always reminded me, right now, he reminds me of that drunk uncle that you have at a picnic.
Yeah, like at the family reunion.
I like it. I like it a lot. When he first did that little bit of bubbly, I was cracking up. I didn't know that was going to be his tagline, but oh man, that was great.
Everything that man says turns into a shirt, and that's awesome in my book.
I'm buying champagne now, so that tells you something.
How about a favorite match throughout the history of wrestling?
That's a good one, too. There's a couple really good ones.
It's a loaded question. I know it takes a while to think of one. It takes me a while as well, but there's just so many to choose from.
Right off the top of my head, I can think of two really good ones. Let's see. You always got to say the Hulk Hogan. I remember watching that live. That was pretty amazing.
The double turn.
That was pretty good. But also, AJ Styles and what's his name? Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
That was
Survivor Series.
That was a great match a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Unexpected, because you think Brock Lesnar's going to go in there and slaughter him, and then they pull out this badass match.
Well, there's a spot in that match where, what was it? They're both laying on the ground, and Brock just grabs AJ's head and slams it to the ground 3 times. And I wasn't really paying attention, and you thought he really killed the guy.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, that's the beast for you.
That's fantastic. I love Brock Lesnar. I'm a fan of his. I don't understand why people don't like him, but
is he your second favorite?
Currently, yeah.
Yeah.
I like what he knows. Like, my wife doesn't really watch wrestling, but she'll get into it. Like, we got WrestleMania. Like, she'll watch the Brock Lesnar matches. She'll watch the Ronda Rousey matches, or whoever's on the Bella show thing. So, like, the Brock Lesnar one.
Is she keeping up with this season of Total Divas with the storyline around Ronda Rousey?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Oh.
She seems like every day it's either the Kardashians or this impeachment trial I've been watching a lot of too, so who knows.
How about a gimmick match? Do you like the ladder matches, first blood, tables?
I gotta go old school. The Royal Rumbles are great.
I think
If
those
not
are
that, then
universally loved.
yeah. So maybe the Elimination Chamber matches, because they do kind of have neat surprises in them.
And it's those Royal Rumbles, Elimination Chambers, that draws in all the actual like hardcore fans and the casual fans, and they're always fun to watch because there's gonna be some mayhem, and it's always entertaining.
Well, there's unexpected matchups in there too.
Yes.
That's so. Although I think we can go away with the Kofi Kingston stuff. How many times is he gonna fall hands or something?
Well, now Naomi's gonna do it in the women's Royal Rumbles.
I saw that too. That just made me not like it.
What about the WWE video games? Did you ever play any growing up?
I had the old Nintendo one where you could be like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh yeah.
I remember, my favorite one was, I think it was called Warzone for Nintendo 64. That was a fun one because that was like one of the first ones where you can create a character.
Yeah.
Me and my friends we used to like make punk rockers and fight each other and like have like mosh pits in the ring and stuff.
Well, today is November 23rd, and I don't know if you know this, but it's National Espresso Day. How do you take your coffee?
Oh, always 2 Splenda, skim milk. Doesn't matter what size.
Are you a Starbucks guy?
Only if I have to be.
That place is always crowded and insane.
I prefer Dunkin' Donuts, but there seems to be more Starbucks by me now, so I just go to whatever's easier.
I knew I was going to be talking to you, so I looked it up, and there's actually 2 things being celebrated today. It's also National Adoption Day. But I couldn't think of a follow-up question to that one, so I just said espresso.
Hey, that's fine. Adoption Day is... one of the things me and my wife do is we always adopt animals, so... Right now we have a cat, or 2 cats, a dog, a rabbit that just passed away. But, that's a different thing. We didn't tell the kids that yet, but...
Oh, wow. What are your animals' names?
The dog is Percy, because there's a big Thomas the Train family here. Because, like I said, with my kid, they're all under 6, so... Where Thomas the Train rules this house.
I was about to pop because I thought you did a Percy Pringle tribute.
Oh, I wish. But what was it? Figaro and jeez, I don't even know the other cat's name. Daisy. That's it.
Daisy. What's your favorite Misfits song?
Oh, that's a good question. Hybrid Moments.
Hybrid Moments,
always. If anybody wants to ever listen to the Misfits and know what it's about, Hybrid Moments and Astro Zombies will get you hooked. I guarantee it.
What's the last concert you attended?
The Misfits.
The Misfits? Oh, they rolled around your neighborhood?
Well, yes. Well, that's always the big debate is because they broke up in 1983, and in the 90s they got a new singer, and they were kind of garbage. But now it's the original singer, the original writer, original bassist. So now they're selling out arenas, and I saw them in Prudential Center last year, which when I met my wife 11 years ago, I told her, I was like, I'll stop going on punk shows and hardcore shows and getting into fights when the Misfits get back together, not knowing they would get back together 10 years later. So I held to it.
Well, that's a cool story, man. Well,
yeah, so I was last row in Prudential Center, or whatever, Prudential Arena, whatever that is in Newark. Last row. All the way in the back, away from the stage. But I don't care. I was happy.
Well, shit, yeah. As long as you're there, you got a story to tell.
Exactly. That's all I care about. I had beer in my hand. I had my buddies right next to me. We're good to go.
Well, let's discuss this week's Steel Real After Party episode. Episode 98. Definitely not episode 99.
Yes.
They kicked off with Jake. Well, Zanka was intrigued about APPW, and Jake suggested that Zanka checks out the previous episode because it had Andy versus Sam for the Decent Championship, which was an error on his part because it was Andy versus Mangria for the decent championship, and I'm Mangria. I made a video for it and everything. Come on, Jake. Come on now. And then
all your hard work.
Jake mentions his new podcast is going to be about football. So good luck on that, Jake, with the football cast. Are you a football fan?
I'm watching it right now.
Oh,
I'm watching
college
the
football,
Rucker
right?
State. My wife's actually at the game. The stadium's only about 10 minutes away.
Oh shit!
But yeah, it's pretty neat. And we're a New York Jets season ticket holder family, so.
Oh, Jets fans, huh?
Yeah, we're being disappointed.
Well, hey, you and Jake got something in common then.
Well, that's my question about Jake. Is he says, "Oh, this podcast is coming soon." When is it coming? The season's half over.
Exactly. Well, for all the information and inquiries into that, you got to slide into Jake's DMs.
No, I won't.
Because I have no idea what he's doing with that podcast. But, shout out to the great Bretsky99 for getting his sign on TV and Cultaholic. That was pretty cool. I don't know if you checked it out or not, but Cultaholic is a YouTube show. It's like a British YouTube show, and it was pretty funny how the dude was shocked that someone brought a Lucha House Party sign, but then he realized it was supporting Lars.
I saw the Instagram post on that. That was pretty funny. You know, I'm glad they appreciate it when they. I'm sure they don't get many Lars signs going around. So, you know, you got to remember him when he's not there. So
I predict the Rumble. The Rumble, he's coming back. Watch.
Oh, I hope so.
And all of the Steel Real After Party universe is gonna pop for that. Also, props to Bretsky for saving my Mad Lib. I had a last minute switch out, and I had him choose the last two options for the Mad Lib. Actually, shout out to everybody: Brittany Bomber, Jake, Zanka, Sticks Adam, Bretsky, you, Matthew, for getting that all together.
Well, thank you for including. But here's the problem. What if Lars turns out to be really good now? He's been training this whole time. You're going to have to find a new favorite.
He goes to speech therapy. He can talk clearly now.
He learns how to speak in front of the public. He kind of cleans up his look a little bit so he doesn't look so creepy and disgusting looking. And, you know.
Well, imagine when Kayla interviews him and he goes, "Well, Miss Braxton, my thoughts on this match is..."
For people, it'll be weird. You have to find a new one.
It'll rock our world if he does that.
Exactly.
I liked it how Zanka compared watching SmackDown live on the actual day, Friday, to getting a surprise finger in the butt, and he likes it sometimes. Whereas he said when you watch it, when it's, you know, DVR'd, it's like you're getting a finger in the butt and you know it's coming.
I agree with him completely on that.
Do you prefer to watch it live, or do you DVR it and go back to it when you did watch?
I'm sorry, I was talking over you there. I apologize. If I'm going to watch it, it's got to be live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you fast forward the whole thing.
Well, that and plus spoilers are all over the internet and shit.
Yeah, like even to prepare today, I even there's a YouTube show I watched sometimes. I can't remember the name of it though, but they do like ups and downs, like if it's good or bad. And I tried to watch that, and even then I was like, oh, I don't even care about this. So I was.
I also liked how they bounced back and forth with this idea of regular Bray coming to the ring. Jake wants Firefly Funhouse Bray in the sweater to actually show up in the ring and get his ass kicked, and Zanka said it'd be cool to have the puppets out there on the entrance ramp, and that got me thinking back to when they used to have guest hosts like 4 years ago or something. They had the Muppets out there. The Muppets were on the commentary table, I believe. And wouldn't it be awesome to have Ramblin' Rabbit shoot the shit with Corey Graves, what they would talk about if they did do this?
Well, Yeah, and it would be great to capitalize and go off of maybe a Mr. Rogers angle, since that's a movie coming out.
Perfect.
You have a sweater and he talks to his puppets and everything. That would be fantastic. And then maybe Bray would get attacked or something like that, and you would actually feel sympathy for the guy.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
But I feel they're handling him so wrong, it's not even funny. I mean, they gave him a boob.
Exactly.
That's so...
I also thought it was funny during the podcast. Zenka said he heard a rumor that another new belt was coming, and that was answered last night on SmackDown with a brand new Intercontinental Championship. So I guess Zenka does have some intel on the inside. I thought that was kind of cool.
It was, and what do you think about it?
I love it. I think I'm the only person in this Steel Real After Party universe that hated the white Intercontinental Championship. I loved it when it was on Cody, and I think that should have been a Cody specific belt, but they carried it along for years, and I never liked it because I always loved new. I love new. That's why I was looking forward to Bray Wyatt having like a twisted Universal Championship belt, but he just got the blueberry belt. But this new Intercontinental title, I love it. I think change is always good, and Shinsuke is the right guy to have it.
That I agree with, but man, that design, it looks like a class ring to me.
Yeah. It was funny too because Jake was. They were talking about championship belts during the question segment, and Jake said, "You know, my favorite belt is the white Intercontinental Championship belt." And right as soon as he says that, they change it.
I mean, I remember seeing the Ultimate Warrior getting that thing, and like my mind was blown that he changed it from black to white. Like, that was amazing. He turned it yellow too, didn't he? I think he just turned it to whatever he was wearing.
Oh, okay.
But I think the Continental belt was always the nicest looking one, except for those weird years when Randy Orton won it when he was, that kind of looked like the women's championship there for a while.
Yeah, that was the least popular one.
To me, anyways.
I don't think many people like that one. Well, this week's LOL line of the week was Zanka saying that he needs to be scared when he beats off. There were a few LOL lines of this podcast. Zanka being scared to beat off line was funny, but Jake actually had an LOL line of the episode, and I'm just going to go ahead and play it for you because it popped me big time when they were talking about fraudulent insurance claims on Styx Adams' question, and this is what Jake said to Zanka.
I'm not gonna let you get butt fucked.
#RIP Man Greenmobile.
So that and the prolapsed anus sound always gets a pop for me. That's pretty damn funny. Did you enjoy that as well?
I do. The prolapsed anus thing that's getting me. That's pretty good.
And also, no, go ahead.
What is the leading cause of dry skin?
I give
up.
That is freaking Zanka had 3 LOL lines. He had the being scared when beat off. He talked about Bobby Lashley having less eyebrows than he has game. That was pretty good. And then he was talking about how Jerry Lawler's a freak and that he would love the Fiend to touch the back of his throat when he was doing the mandible claw on him.
Oh, jeez.
It's also pretty funny that whatever breaks Jake, there's been a couple times like when Styx Adam broke Jake, but this time they're bickering between the Rowan story angle. Jake dropped a retarded line. I was shocked. You can tell he's really pissed when he drops the retarded line. And what are your thoughts on the Eric Rowan story as they're describing it to someone who's not watching?
Eric Rowan is terrible. It's awful. I don't understand why they keep pushing him, and it's hilarious because they do, but...
Well, if you could see it on the show, The crowd is mostly confused. Like, Rowan, he just throws punches basically, and he's just a big powerhouse, but he has this little cage with him that they're desperately trying to keep him relevant. And whatever he has in that cage, I hope it works, because Zanka is dead set on getting Rowan over, and it's pissing Jake off, so that creates content, and I enjoy it.
Look, I hope the guy does fantastic, and he makes all the money with the company and everything, but why are they pushing him, not Luke Harper? I don't understand it. He's so much better and charismatic. I don't get it.
If I had to guess, I would say it's because of Luke Harper's issues with the company, and I guess he rubbed Vince McMahon the wrong way, because Vince McMahon wanted him to sound like a Cajun, some dude from the Bayou, and he couldn't pull off the accent, so I guess there's bad blood there with creative, I'm guessing, because Luke Harper can go in the ring, and it's a damn shame that his talent is being wasted.
He's an entertaining character because he's big and he's quick. So, oh well. See, like him versus a Brock Lesnar would be a great match.
Well, you know what I'm praying for is that when they announce Team NXT for Survivor Series, that Luke Harper comes out, because that would be awesome, dude. He would be great in NXT right now.
Yes, I agree with you 100%.
Well,
and he keeps putting out Daniel Bryan recently too, so I wonder if that's leading towards something. I noticed they use social media a lot for story angles now.
I noticed that Luke Harper keeps referring to Larry.
Yes.
Did you see all his weird videos where he's just staring into the camera?
Fantastic.
He's desperately trying to get his character over, and WWE's just not having it.
Oh, I'm loving it. I am the number one fan of him. I hope he goes out and gets everything he deserves.
Well, hopefully...
He actually tries. Good.
Yeah, he tries his best, and he has the look. He has the ability. If WWE wastes that, I bet you AEW is going to scoop him up in a heartbeat.
And he'll be a star.
Exactly. Well, Matthew, I'd like to thank you for your time and ask now, do you have anything you would like to plug?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
No, not selling nothing. No, not really.
Are you going to be watching Survivor Series or TakeOver, or are you going to leave it up to the guys to tell you about it?
See, usually I make up a fake account so I can get it for free. But I actually have to work. Normally I work Monday nights through Friday nights, but because of the holiday coming up, I have to work Sunday night to Tuesday night. So I'll be at work. So I'll be refreshing any YouTube videos or cheat sheet things.
Well, there you go, guys. Still Real After Party hosts. You got to help Matthew and describe it in very great detail and make it funny. That's the pressure. The pressure's on you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Matthew. Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for being a guest. And as always, all hail Linda's Bush. And now, it's time for Hail Caesar with Julius _Caesar.
Alright, it's your boy Julius Caesar, and Mangria has asked me to comment on the Randy Orton dropping the N-bomb on Twitch. And what I got to say about it is, I thought the shit was funny. My man was playing Call of Duty, rolled up on somebody, shot a motherfucker, and was like, boom, nigga. I'm fucking laughing about it now. I see no problem with it. He wasn't talking to anybody. He was talking to a damn video game. How often have we said stupid shit yelling at a video game? We all do it. So, that's my 2 cents. Holla at your boy. See you on Tuesday in the comments.
Thank you again to Matthewjh138, Andy with an I, and Julius _Caesar for being my guest this week on the After Party Hangover shows. to follow the podcast on Instagram. It's at Still Real to Us. Follow the host. It's at Afterparty Zanka, at Afterparty Jake. To follow the podcast on Facebook, you search for the Still Real Afterparty and hit that like button. To cover up your nips with some Still Real merchandise, you go to shop.spreadshirt.com/StillRealAfterparty. Thank you for listening. Until next week, as always, everybody named Jeremy is a dick.